what's up everybody, my name's Nelson, I'm the Living Card Gamer, and we just got finished playing 4 games with Ironheart, one through each one of the 4 different aspects, and today we're going to take a look at what she does, her kit, what aspects she kind of works best with, and then rank her in the overall ranking of Marvel Champions Heroes. Before we get started, if you could do me a huge favor and give this video a like and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It really goes a long way in helping me put out more of this content. So Riri is really cool. Like, she just has a really cool setup. She has 3 different identity cards, and basically throughout the game you're going to want to level up into these new versions. Starts in version 1, you can level up to version 2, and then finally to version 3. It takes 6 progress counters to level up, and then once you are in version 3, you can spend these progress counters on dealing 2 damage, which is not insignificant, as we'll see. She starts out in level 1 with actually a normal stat line. So I'm kind of surprised to see that this is not subpar, but it's a 1, 2, 3 stat line, and she has 4 hand size. Whenever she levels up into level 2, her thwart goes up by 1, and then she gains aerial, and then in level 3, she goes up to a 3 thwart, which is bonkers, and then she continues to have aerial, and she gets 6 hand size. So in level 3, she is really strong. She's really strong. A 3/2/3 hero, 6 hand size. Yeah, that's really good. That is the best we've seen, I think. So kind of what I thought was kind of interesting is when I was reading her and before I actually put her on the table and played, I thought that she was actually going to be fairly difficult to get into that version 3, and we would see a lot of decks built around kind of maxing into version 2, because she's still very good in version 2, and then kind of giving up that quest to get to version 3 and just winning in version 2 and riding the wave there. However, that is not the case. It is actually pretty easy to get to version 3. I've seen people do it in like 2-3 turns, and it's not a stretch at all to get there. And so let's talk about how you get these progress counters. So in alter ego form, you can spend a mental resource in version 1, and then it gets a little bit easier as you go along, to place progress counters on her card. She has a alter ego support ability that allows her to place some counters. And those are 2 easy ways to get counters while in alter ego. However, it's so easy to get to that version 3 because of her events. So she has an event called Fly Over, which is a 2-cost event, and it's 3 threat removal, and then you get to place 1 progress counter on her. And then if you remove the last threat from a scheme with this event, you get to place a 2nd counter there. And so that's already 33% of the way into leveling you up into the next stage. Or once you're in version 3, that's a 2-cost event for a 3 threat removal and 4 damage. That is called efficiency. Maximum efficiency right there. She has photon beams, which is very similar. It's a 4 damage and then kind of the same formula, right? 1 counter or 2 if you kill something. These events are kind of what you're fishing for. And you can really get to level up very quickly because of these events. And then also her resource card called Stroke of Genius. So Stroke of Genius is a resource card that says whenever you spend it, it's a mental resource, you get to draw a card and place a counter on her. And so if you're paying for your flyover event with a Stroke of Genius and you're removing the last threat, right there, you're already halfway to leveling up. If you started out in alter ego, if you had Ronnie on the table, then you're already at 5. So I mean, it gets really easy, and you get to ramp really quickly into that level 3. I forgot who said it on the Discord, and if you haven't joined the Discord, please do, that once you get to level 3, it's almost hard to lose the game. So that just kind of goes to show how strong she can get and how strong she is and how quickly she can get there, right? I thought it was going to be a really slow burn, and once you if you survived long enough to get to version 3, then you were going to be able to pull it out. But really, I mean, she hits the ground running. She's in version 3 by like round 3 or 4, easy. Then you win. She has other cards that kind of scale with her version numbers. So like Photon Blasters is one of her upgrades. It's a 2-cost upgrade that deals damage equal to the version number, which is really good, right? It's just a free exhaust for 3 damage once you're in version 3. And then Propulsion Jets is the exact same, but for threat mitigation, so 2-cost, and then you get to remove threat equal to your version number. Each one of these gives you extra hit points, and so they're really great. You want to get those to the table because once you, even in version 2, those are really strong. Those are just really great. She has some other cards in her kit, and I'm not going to go through all of them. You can find other videos out there online that kind of walk through each one of the cards individually. But the one I wanted to focus on today was Brawn, which is her signature ally. I absolutely love this design. I think it's really ingenious. So it's a 4-cost ally, which is really, really steep. And it's a 2-3-3 stat line. So 2 thwart, 3 attack, and 3 health. Lower health than what I would, want to see. But that's because he has an awesome ability. His ability states that whenever he is exhausted, once per round, he can generate a mental resource. And I just thought that was really cool. If you can figure out how to exhaust him without taking that consequential damage, then you can start actually making money on Brawn, which is a lot of fun. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I played through a game with each one of the 4 aspects on Twitch, and you can find those links below. But what I like to do is rank these in the order of, which ones I liked the most, and go through them and talk about them, some of the tips and tricks you can do with each one of the aspects. And one thing that I will note, she is amazing in all of these aspects. So just because we're talking about the 4th place or one of the lower place aspects does not mean that you should not play her there. She's still going to be insane. You're going to have a lot of fun. She's going to be great. Just wanted to throw that caveat out there. So in 4th place, we have Aggression. So Aggression is in 4th place for a couple of reasons. One, she's in Alter Ego a lot to get those progress counters, and so you're kind of locking yourself out of a lot of the things that you can do in Aggression, especially in a multiplayer game, being called upon for actions or whatever. But, she's really good in Aggression. She can clear minions with her events, with her photon blasters. She has ways to kill minions. And then also her kit makes up for any lacking in thwart potential you have. In level 3, she has 3 thwart. And so right there, instead of, a basic swing, you can basic thwart and kind of shore up some of Aggression's weaknesses. It's still a really good aspect for her. I just had it in 4th place because of her want to be an alter ego, as well as just the other aspects just work really, really well for her. So that brings us to 3rd place, which I have Protection. So kind of the same issue with Aggression, if we can call it that, is that she does want to be an alter ego fairly frequently. And so that takes away a lot of what Protection likes to do. I often describe Protection as playing the game on the villain turn by canceling, blocking, etc., etc. And you're taking away a lot of her options to do that when you're an alter ego. However, she starts with a base 3 defense stat, which is incredible. 4 hand size in version 1 is still doable with Protection, especially because a lot of your events are going to be 1 cost if you are going that route. And the main reason it made it over Aggression is that her kit really shores up the weakness that is threat removal that Protection severely lacks. So Protection is notoriously bad for dealing with threat, and particularly threat on side schemes. She does not have an issue taking care of threat at all, and so therefore she is a really good Protection hero. Talking about wanting to be an alter ego a lot also opens up a lot of the cards that benefit from that flip into hero form. So Perseverance is really nice. When you change hero form, you get a tough status card. And so that's great. She also has ways to get tough status cards through her kit with some of her events. So you can run a fairly efficient perfect defense / higher than max health because she has upgrades that give her health, perseverance, and then kit cards that give her tough status cards. Makes it pretty easy to never need to take a hit. So Protection is in 3rd place. That brings us to our top 2. And so the next 2 are neck and neck. They are so close, and it basically came down to a coin flip. And really kind of what edged it out is that I enjoy Leadership just slightly less than Justice. So in 2nd place, I have Leadership. There are just so many fun tricks that you can do with Leadership, and the favorite things that I like to do is exploit Brawn. And so Brawn, whenever he's exhausted, just as we talked about, generates a resource. And so Leadership opens up opportunities to exhaust without just using a basic power. Teamwork is excellent with Brawn. 0 cost event, exhaust an ally, add the corresponding stat to a basic power that you are using as a hero. So Teamwork is basically a 0 for 3 damage with Brawn. Then you get a generation of a resource. So much fun. incredibly fun. There are other cards, but I just really love teamwork in that sense. Also, in her kit, she came with the leadership precon, and so it did open up or kind of add to an archetype that was forming. And I don't really know what we're calling this yet, but I just kind of think of it as the go all out archetype. So Go All Out is a new card that came in her kit, and it basically says deal damage equal to the sum of your basic powers on your hero side. There's also Push Ahead, which is the threat version of this. But even without upgrades or events, in level 3, Go All Out does 8 damage. So it's a 2-cost event for 8 damage, plus the cost of exhausting, so there is that. But without any upgrades or events, that is still effectively a 2-cost for 6 damage, taking into account the lost cost of actually attacking, right? Which is really good, right? However, there are ways in leadership to pump your stats up to maximize this, and that's where the real fun starts. So R&D Facility is a new card that we have seen in her kit, that it's a shield card where you can exhaust it to remove a counter and give plus stats to any character, and so that pumps up that Go All Out potential or just a basic power use potential. She wants to be flipping, so Moxie is an excellent target for her, just giving her more. And then if this is a Go All Out turn, that is +3 to the Go All Out damage. Morale boost is insane. So it's just a lot of fun to kind of build around that archetype, and she doesn't necessarily need allies in there to chump block or however you want to kind of figure that out. Because of her insane stats, she gets boosted to her health just with her kit cards. And so this is a very viable option for her, and it's a very fun one. So that brings us to first place. And in first place, I have Justice. Really, this is top of the chart because she wants to be flipping so often. Justice opens up a lot of options for Confuse and then threat mitigation. So if you are flipping down, especially in solo, the worst thing that can happen to you is villain schemes and you're like, safe. Okay, cool. I have just a little bit more headroom. Once I flip up, I'll take care of it. But then it always happens. You're going to draw an advance and then you go cry and it's a sad night. However, Justice opens a lot of options to Confuse, and so therefore you have a little bit more security in flipping down, and then her threat mitigation is just off the charts. So she loves one way or another. Because she gets up to 3 thwarts in version 3, and then propulsion jets can, also take away 3 threat when she's in version 3. That's 6 threat just off of a basic power and an upgrade that's already on the table. So one way or another, pulling out any scheme, it's pretty much a guarantee that you're going to take away every single threat on that scheme, and then you just, build your deck around getting rid of side schemes. So Skilled Investigator or Followed or Chance Encounter, all of these cards that we've seen in the Justice aspect that benefit from taking out side schemes, she's not going to have any problem with removing that threat. And so this is just a super viable build for her. So those were the ranking of the 4 aspects. So let's go ahead and rank her in the overall ranking of the heroes. So right here, you can kind of see the heroes that I've already done a hero spotlight for and where I have ranked them in previous videos. And this is going to be our first S tier hero. Ironheart is insanely strong. She is so much fun to play, and she is just really, really, really good. Once she gets to version 3, like I said earlier, it is hard to lose the game, right? Those progress counters become 2 damage apiece. You're placing 2 to 3 progress counters a turn. And so, that's 4 to 6 damage just right there. Once you're in version 3, you're going to have it's all downhill from there, right? She's going to be our first S tier. She is probably one of the strongest heroes that we have seen. I think probably the strongest pre-con deck that we have seen. So if you just want to buy her and just play her out of the box, you're going to have a phenomenal time. She is really good. And so highly recommend Ironheart. We kind of talked about in our Nova video that, they came out on the same day. And so a lot of people are kind of comparing the two. I think that she is stronger than Nova. You see the ranking, right? But she is stronger than Nova. However, I do have more fun with Nova. Not saying I don't have fun with Ironheart, but for some reason, Nova just has a special place in my heart. So that's going to do it for us tonight. So talk to me. What was your favorite aspect? What did you enjoy playing with Ironheart? What are some of the fun combos that you've seen? Let me know in the comments. I enjoy reading those so much. It's so much fun. Or let us know in the Discord. Ironheart's a lot of fun, and I want to hear your success stories with her. So also in the video description, you can vote for who I play next after Black Widow. So Black Widow will be coming up next, and then we'll go ahead and see who has the most votes so I can play them in the next Hero Spotlight. Until next time, have a phenomenal time, play some Marvel Champions, and I'll see you around. Peace.